So in this lesson we are going to rename mixed numbers that have improper fractions into mixed numbers that don't have improper fractions. And here's an example. I'm going to start off with 1 and 5 halves, and we're going to change this so that there is no improper fraction here, so that the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So let's take a minute and ask ourselves, what does this mean? So 1 and 5 halves. This means we have one whole, and then we have, so one whole, and then we have another 2 halves, 1, 2, and we have another 2 halves, and then we have one more half. So we have one whole right here, and then we have 5 more halves. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to rewrite that as 1, 2, 3 wholes and 1 half. So 1 and 5 halves equals 3 and 1 half. Now there's another way we can do this. If you want to write it out, we can say 1 whole plus 2 halves plus 2 halves plus 1 more half. So now you can see I have 1 whole plus 2 of the halves plus 2 of the halves plus 1 of the halves, and each time we have 2 halves, whenever we have the same number over the same number, we know that equals 1 whole. So I'm going to rewrite that as 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 half, and then the answer we get is 3 and a half. So you can see that it matches what we have up here. Let's look at one more example. Let's look at 2 and 7/4, and we want to rewrite this so that 7/4 is in simplest form. It's written as a fraction where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So I'm going to first draw my picture. So I've got fourths this time. So I'm going to draw 4 fourths and 4 fourths so that we have our 2 wholes. So I'm going to shade those. There's our whole number, 2 wholes. And then I'm going to add in 7 more fourths. So I'm going to draw in now 7 more fourths. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fourths. And now I'm going to rewrite it as a whole number and a fraction in simplest form. So here we have 1 whole, 2 wholes, 3 wholes, with 3 fourths left over. So that's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 fourths. So our final answer would be 3 and 3 fourths. Another way you could do this is you can just look at the improper fraction here, and you can do what we've been doing before, where we use division to change it into a mixed number. So I can say 7 divided by 4 goes in 1 time. 1 times 4 is 4. I get 3 left over. So I take my 3 and it becomes the numerator. I take my 4 and it becomes the denominator. And then I would add my 2 wholes plus what I got here to make my fraction. 1 and 3 fourths. So 2 plus 1 is 3. And then we have 3 fourths more that comes from here. So you can see this is also the correct answer. It matches what we have here. So either of those, any of these ways that you choose to do it would be correct. Here's another example. Let's do 4 3/3, and we're going to rewrite this in simplest form. So we know that 3/3 is the same as 1 whole. So to rewrite this, we're going to say 4 plus 1 whole, and our answer is going to be 5. If I was going to draw it in pictures, I would draw 4 holes, and then I have one more hole, and I'm going to divide it into 3 pieces, 3 equal pieces. So I would have 4 holes plus 1, 2, 3/3, and then we can see that 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 5. Chance to try now. So I'd like you to use a piece of scratch paper and rename this in simplest form. Please push pause and push play when you're ready to get feedback. Okay, so we have 1 9/4, so we would have 1 whole plus, and I'm going to use the method where we change 9/4 into a mixed number. So 4 goes into 9 twice. 2 times 4 is 8. I'm going to subtract and get 1. This becomes the numerator, and this divisor becomes the denominator. So I'm going to move this up here. So we have 2 1/4 equals 1 plus 2 1/4 is 3 1/4. I could also use this by drawing pictures if you would like to use that strategy as well. Here's another example I'd like you to try. 3 15/8. Go ahead and push pause and push play when you're ready to get feedback after you've turned it into a fraction, a mixed number with a fraction in simplest form. Okay, so here's what you would do. We have 3 holes, so I'm going to write 3 plus, and I'm going to change this into a mixed number. So I'm going to say 15 divided by 8. It goes in once. 8 times 1 is 8. I subtract and get 7. The 7 becomes our numerator. The 8 becomes our denominator. And I'm going to add that to the whole number. Then I get 3 plus 1 is 4. And then we take our 7/8 and we add that to our whole number. One more example. Okay, go ahead and try this one. 2 13/6. Go ahead and push pause. Push play when you're ready to get feedback. Okay, so with this example we have 2 holes plus, and change this into an a mixed number. 13 divided by 6 goes in twice. 2 times 6 is 12. I subtract and get 1. The 1 becomes my numerator. The 6 becomes my denominator. I'm going to add that to my whole number. 2 1/6. We get 2 plus 2 is 4. And then we have 1/6 added to our answer.